Alrighty guys, what's going on everybody? Welcome back here to another live stream, my friends. Hope everyone is doing good out there. Glad to have you guys here for another update, my friends. We got ourselves quite a day ahead of us here for Saturday. We were talking a little bit about that yesterday when we were doing that bit of coverage across the region. But anyways, y'all, hope everyone is doing good. Glad to have y'all here. Let's see who we got here so far. We have Weather Watcher, we have Jonathan, we have Steady, we have Mark, actually two Marks. We got Mark 1 and Mark 2 here. We got Crystal, we have Magica, let's see here, Storm Coverage, and of course everybody else who is here but just not chatting. Hope everyone is doing good, guys. So, like we mentioned, we do have a big day coming up here for Saturday that we're going to definitely need to be looking out for because we are talking another day worth of potential, nasty, severe weather and whatnot that's ongoing out there or expected to, develop out there, I should say. So, we'll be talking a lot about that. Also, I do want to address real quickly, we just got a severe thunderstorm warning in Los Angeles for the possibility of 70 miles an hour wind gusts and a tornado possible here. Hold up, let's go ahead and hop over the radar currently. That's kind of unexpected here. We got a severe thunderstorm warning for Los Angeles for 70 mile per hour wind gusts and, like I said, a tornado possible tag. Let me bring up velocity here. We're going to take a quick little peek at this real fast, see what's going on. I think this is kind of the area that they're kind of referring to that could go tornadic. Let me play that in motion real quickly. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, I can kind of see why they did that. It does look like it could be starting to set up for maybe a little bit of rotation and whatnot. So we'll keep a close eye on that. Obviously, this stream is going to be mostly focused towards the event for Saturday. But like I mentioned, this is just kind of random. That just literally popped up when we went live here. One of the problems, though, currently is also out west. We have a really, really nasty flooding threat today. LA, we got ourselves a moderate risk out here for flash flooding. It's actually pretty strong flooding threat out here for today. Across areas here of like I said, across areas here of LA. So, really a lot of California does need to be looking out there for the flooding threat and whatnot because, there's a lot of water that's falling across those regions. Also a lot of snow and whatnot across those upper elevations and whatnot. So, but yeah, I want to go to point that out for you guys. Anyways, let's see here. Michael, instead of saying you got a question, just ask the question, man. Let's see here. What's up, Kinda? We hope you're doing good. What's up, Drew? What's up, Tanya? Is that how you say your name? I'm so sorry. I'm bad with names. Let's see. What's up, Jordan? Hope you're doing good. Let's see here. What's up, Michael? What's up, Barbara? What's up, Mark 2? Second Mark. What's up, Lady B? Hope you're doing good. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about Saturday's risk, y'all. So like I mentioned, well, first of all, today we do have actually a little marginal risk here for severe weather. First of all, let's go ahead and disable our flooding threat there. But we do have a marginal risk here for severe weather for today. Up across portions here of California. Like I mentioned, California's weather right now is not doing so good. Between the flash flooding and whatnot, and like I mentioned, this random severe thunderstorm warning for 70 mile per hour wind gusts, and like I said, potentially possible tornado on that. We'll have to, like I said, we'll keep on hopping back and forth to that. Anyways, got a marginal today. Let's see, 2% chance for tornadoes. Let's see, 5% chance for wind gusts between, mostly getting up to right around 60 mile per hour wind gusts. And no hail threat for today regarding severe weather. Tomorrow, we're looking pretty good tomorrow. No active severe thunderstorm. No active severe weather is expected for tomorrow here overall. And then, of course, day 3. This is where the big day comes in. We'll talk about that. Let's see, Tabletop coming in here with a $2 super chat, man. Thank you so much, Tabletop. I appreciate it. Saying, howdy, Andrew. Should I worry for severe weather Sunday? So, as of now, SPC does not have anything for day 4, which would be for Sunday. Of course, you guys do know that Saturday is going to be the day of this big mess. I mean, you guys can already see the risks that we have implemented here from the Storm Prediction Center, a really large enhanced risk. This event here covers a lot more ground than yesterday's severe weather event. So we're going to have to really be watching out here for Saturday. I mean, the threat for severe weather as of now goes all the way up towards like Kentucky and whatnot. As of now, SPC does not have any risks for Sunday. However, whenever here's what we're going to do. We're going to hop into models. We're going to take a look at the models in the long range here. And we will see kind of what setup is going to be here afterwards. So let's go ahead and let me zoom out a little bit here. All right, so hop into the GFS, the American Long Range Model. So obviously we have, all that advection. You can see basically all this moisture and whatnot starting to, creep its way back up into the country, driving all that instability that's over the map here right now. Honestly, it's a little hard to tell tabletop right now. GFS suggests the possibility of maybe trace amounts of instability. We will have to see how that plays out. I mean, NAM as well shows some instability with, high wind shear, which, could cause some storms and whatnot. I'm going to say, as of now, there is no active risk for Sunday, but I will tell you, keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. I can't say yes. I can't say no. There's just not enough information for that right now. However, like we mentioned, though, guys, late Saturday evening, it looks like it's going to be a potential another nocturnal threat here as we do have that cold front running through. Seems like the models are starting to uptrend a little bit on that instability, that fuel for those storms in the atmosphere here. So that is definitely something that we have to really look at here. In terms of everything, too, also our lower level wind shear is like really fast. So our lower level jet stream is really moving. So basically those winds in the lower atmosphere are really going, which is very important for tornadic activity here. Looking at our mid-level wind shear too, so shooting up a little bit higher up into the atmosphere. Winds in general are just, they're moving pretty quickly. So there is instability, there is that wind shear in place, and also dew points, regarding our moisture advection. So, if we play this in time, you guys can see all of this moisture that just creeps up, and then the cold front knocks it out. So all that advection pulls up north, and then, of course, supplying all that moisture and whatnot, which will get that severe weather going. So, between everything going on here, it looks like a pretty good setup here, between the moisture, the instability, the wind shear. We'll definitely need to be very, very cautious on Saturday. Like we mentioned, Sunday here, it's still a little early to tell. We're gonna let that marinate for another day or so before we talk about Sunday. As of now, like I mentioned, SPC does not have anything, but I think there could be maybe something happening along the east for Sunday, but it's still a little unsure, or a little unclear of essentially what we are going to be seeing. So, like I mentioned, here's the risk here from the Storm Prediction Center. So the scale, like we mentioned, guys, goes from a level 1 all the way to a level 5. 5 obviously being the greatest risk for severe weather, 1 being the lowest risk. But like I mentioned, regardless of what level you're in, it's still an active severe weather threat, meaning that there is potential for severe thunderstorms. And what I mean by severe thunderstorms is potentially damaging storms that could have some impacts on life and property. So, with that being said, like I mentioned, the higher the number, the greater the concern, essentially. So, for example, a level 5 would have a greater probability of severe weather as well as a greater impact potential. So the higher the level, the more higher impact potential and the greater probability, of seeing severe weather. So we do have a level 1 across the areas in green. So remember, it's still an active severe weather threat. We have a level 2 across the yellow here, which covers a pretty good amount of areas here. Level 2 threat is definitely something that you guys got to really look out for, in which, can cause some nasty severe weather. But then, of course, as you guys can see, we do have a level 3 threat as well for Saturday. So the bullseye regarding the greatest potential impacts and the greatest probability for severe weather for Saturday is going to be across areas like Arkansas, Louisiana, portions of Mississippi, and Alabama. So in the green, or sorry, in the orange here, the level 3 threat, that's where the greatest chance is for severe weather there overall. Then, of course, we had the level 2 threat, the middle threat across the yellow, which, like I mentioned, no matter what color you're in here, you're still in a risk for severe weather. It's just, like I said, the potential goes up every level you go up, essentially. So the potential of seeing severe weather increases, and the magnitude of how severe they can get to increases per level as well. So, for example, the threat's greater across, the level 3 here in the orange as it is compared to the level 2 and the level 1. So that is the greatest threat overall. So, once again, Saturday, it's setting up to be a pretty active day regarding severe weather and stuff like that. So the thing is that we don't have a breakdown quite yet regarding the percentages per se for the for each category. So for the tornado threat, for the wind threat, for the hail threat, we do not have a breakdown percentage as of yet. However, we do have a probability-based for severe weather. So this is basically giving you your percentage of seeing severe weather, contributing to all of the 3 main risks between tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds. Okay, so with that being said, we do have this red area. Now, there's actually something special that they did here. This is a significant severe risk area here, talking the potential for significant severe weather. So what does that mean? Well, since there's no breakdown right now, it's a little hard to say, but could be significant concerns for tornadic activity, for damaging winds or hail. Overall, across the red, you have a 30% chance of seeing severe weather within a 25-mile radius of your location. So what does that mean? So basically, within a radius, within a circle around you, within 25 miles around you, there is a 30% chance that you could see severe weather, either it being tornadic activity, damaging winds, or hail. Okay, so that's a 30% chance, which if you think about it, that's about roughly a 1 in 3 shot of having severe weather within your region of within 25 miles of you. Does that make sense? So that's that. And then, of course, you have the yellow area here. This is actually a 15% chance. So like I mentioned, each level you go up, the greater the concern is for stronger storms, but also essentially the probability based here as well, overall. So that is that overall. So we do have a 15% chance here across the yellow, which is half the probability, obviously, of the red. So 15% chance of probability seeing severe weather within 25 miles of a given area here in the yellow. And then, of course, lastly, we do have the brown, or the 5% chance. So it's a pretty low odds across the brown, but it is still a possibility for severe weather. So obviously we still need to be actively weather aware in those regions, even though it's a little less likely as comparing to, especially the red and the yellow there. So hopefully that kind of makes sense for you guys. Hopefully that'll kind of give you guys a little bit more of a better view of, kind of what we are expecting here overall. Let's see here. Kinda says, what about southern snow on Wednesday? Well, Wednesday is a little far out to look at, considering that's 6 days away. I don't like to look that far usually. As you guys, if you guys have been around here for a while, you guys know that I don't like to really look more than 5 days out, considering how inaccurate things do tend to get. Now, sometimes we will look a little further if there is, significant agreement between the models for several model runs. So, for several model runs, each time the models ran, if they agree, if the models themselves agree with one another and there's, consecutive runs that agree as well, then we look out a little further. But like I mentioned, we like to keep it within 5 days. But if something does become a concern, we'll talk about it. All right, let's see here. Michael says, is a severe thunderstorm coming to Centerton? Arkansas. So yeah, no, you're not in the active threat for Saturday. Yeah, so this is for Saturday's risk once again, guys. We do have a level 3 enhanced risk here for Saturday, but yeah, you're not included. You're not included in that. That's just going to be southeast of you. Is there any likely going to be more snowstorms in Wisconsin? So I don't know how you say that region because I'm not the best with names, as you guys probably know by now. You guys are actually under a winter weather advisory here. Total snow accumulations between 4 and 7 inches for your area here. Snow may be heavy at times from 6 p.m. Friday to 6 a.m. Saturday. So yes, Jordan, there is going to be more winter weather for you. Yep. Wisconsin's actually getting a bit of winter weather. You can see most of the state here actually does have like winter weather advisories. So a little bit of winter weather is expected for you guys. PayPal says, is this on Saturday? Yes, it is. Yes. So this is Saturday's risk here. Once again, we will have to see about Sunday. As of now, SPC does not have anything on Sunday's risk, but there could be a low-end threat for severe weather on Sunday. It's not going to be anything like it will be Saturday, though. But yes, yeah, this is Saturday. What do I think about Memphis? Okay, so Memphis is actually in that level 2 threat as of right now. So we still have yet to receive the probability. Like I said, we still have yet to see the probability of, tornadic activity, damaging winds, and hail. So the SPC does not have that graphic available yet for the probability of tornadoes, winds, and hail. You are in a level 2 threat, which puts you in a 15% chance probability of seeing severe weather, meaning that, within 25-mile radius of Memphis. So, for example, I can actually draw a 25-mile radius for you guys. So this is... Okay, so say you live on that red dot there, okay? So say you live right there, just a random place in Memphis. So basically, so this is a 25-mile radius around your so-called area. This is just a random spot, but pretend that's you. So within 25 miles of you, there is a 15% chance, whether it being between tornadoes, damaging winds, or hail, whatever, there's a 15% chance of any of that happening within somewhere in this 25-mile radius, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. That kind of breaks down, your probability based for severe weather, which you're in a level 2, which, it's a decent threat for severe weather. And yes, I would definitely be weather aware on Saturday for your region. I would definitely keep an eye out there for it, as once again, all hazards I think could be a concern for a lot of these areas here. I think the main problem is going to be tornadic activity and damaging winds yet again. Kind of similar to yesterday's threat in some cases. But yeah, I do think tornadoes and winds are going to be the main problem. What's up, Samuel? What's up, Janice? Hope you're doing good. Rain says, hey, Andrew, have you noticed a lack of severe weather lately? Yeah, man, there's really not a lot going on. Yeah, no, it's actually picking up. We're starting to get some activity here in severe weather land. It's been, all before this, it's just been heavy winter weather after one another. But, it looks like we're kind of heading into a little bit of a pattern here where severe weather is becoming a little bit more probable. Obviously yesterday we had that event that we covered. We did have a couple nasty storms and a couple of big tornadoes that was confirmed yesterday. And, like I mentioned, it looks like another setup on Saturday here that we're looking out for. So we'll really need to be weather aware Saturday for sure. Jordan says, I know severe thunderstorms are really bad. It's important to prepare. Absolutely. Yes, it is good to prepare. And for now, what I do want you guys to do is just, remain weather aware. Just keep in the back of your mind that Saturday is going to be an active threat for severe weather. Once again, the main concern is going to be, tornadic activity and damaging winds. Those are going to be the main issues, I believe. And of course, maybe some hail as well. So we'll have to see. Polly says, how am I? I'm doing good. Hopefully doing good as well, Polly. All right, let's see here. What is the Cape value for Hot Springs, Arkansas? So it seems like the instability here, the convective available potential energy that models are kind of suggesting, such as NAM and whatnot, hard to say exactly, but models are kind of suggesting between 500 and 750 joules per kilogram with some locally higher spots. We'll have to see, of course, and mesoanalysis the day of will kind of give a better understanding of how much instability will be in place for the time being. But models, between pretty much 500 and 750 joules per kilogram for the most part. Let's see here. I think this has potential for being a huge outbreak, bigger than yesterday. Yeah, it does cover a lot more areas for sure. And yes, I do agree. I do think that this thing could be, potential tornadic outbreak material because of how many areas are included in the risk, for one, but also the ingredients that's in place as well. I mean, for example, like we mentioned, this is enough. It's not the most instability in the world, but it's enough instability to get nasty, severe weather. It is enough fuel to, allow for severe weather like that to occur. But what's really driving this event as well, so keep an eye out, this is where all the instability is at. The lower level jet stream is very, very strong across these regions here as well. I mean, we're talking 50, maybe 60 knot lower level jet, which, as you may or may not know, wind shear, especially in lower atmospheric levels, is very important for tornadic formation. It's not just reliant on the speed, but also the wind direction that it's blowing in. For example, in this case, you can see that these winds are, relatively moving to, the northeast, right? If we take a look here at the mid-level, you can notice how the wind direction ever so slightly changes a little bit more to the northeast, as you can see. So there is a little bit of a wind directional change with altitude. Not only that, but the winds, seem to be moving roughly around the same speed between the lower and middle atmosphere. So, because of that change in wind direction and, with altitude gain, essentially that can create rotating thunderstorms. So we have the wind shear, and the strong winds help contribute to keeping the storms healthy and organized. And how they do that is simply separating the storm's updraft and the storm's downdraft more efficiently. The stronger the winds, essentially. So I don't know if you guys know this. I know some of you guys in chat probably know this, but in a thunderstorm, there's updrafts and downdrafts. You have the warm air that rises up into the atmosphere, into the storm. That's an updraft. And then you have the cold air that comes down from the storm and goes back to the surface. Hot air rises, cold air sinks. Basic convection. The cold air coming down, that is your downdraft. So with stronger winds in the atmosphere, essentially what happens is, you have all that warm air. So pretend this is like a side angle here. Actually, here's what we're going to do. We're going to, let me just, I don't know, go ahead and zoom in here. I guess we'll just do it like this. Okay, so pretend this is like the side view of the atmosphere. So this is ground level. This is up in the atmosphere here. So basically, the warm air goes up, and then it cools down, and then it comes back down and sinks back down. So for example, this is all the warm air that's going up in the atmosphere. It cools down, and then it kind of rolls back down. And of course, you have your big thunderstorm cloud like this. Okay, so stronger wind shear, stronger winds in the atmosphere actually allows for that updraft and that air that's moving up to be more at an angle. So the stronger the winds, essentially, the more arced your updraft is, and separated from your downdraft. If the problem is if there is no winds in the atmosphere, that warm air that's rising, and as it cools, it would collapse right on that uprising air. Essentially meaning that, your updraft, that warm air going up is not really separated from the air coming back down, and that kind of kills out your storm with no wind shear. Now, with there being wind shear, and like I said, for Saturday's risk, there's a lot of wind shear. There's a lot of strong winds in the atmosphere, which essentially is allowing for your air going up to be arced more because of the winds that's pushing against it. Separating that warm air going up from the air that's coming back down. And, that really makes these storms more efficient, more long-lived, and overall more organized. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense to some of you guys. I'm not the best teacher, of course, but does that make any sense to you all? If you guys could let me know in the chat, I would be appreciated. Anyways, so that is that is essentially what we're looking at there, and hopefully that makes kind of sense. But yeah, anyways, with that being said, there's a lot of strong wind shear, so that winds is going to contribute to pretty good organized storm activity and whatnot. Let's see here. Happy Valentine's Day. You too, but it's Valentine's Day tomorrow, man. It's not today, but tomorrow it will be. But I appreciate it. You too, man. Let's see. I'm in Palm Bay. What is the forecast? What, Palm Bay? Is that Florida? Palm Bay, Florida. Yeah, you guys are good. Yeah, Palm Bay is not expecting any severe weather today. Today or tomorrow. Or Saturday, really. Saturday is the main day we're looking at. But yeah, you're good. Palm Bay is good. Let's see. Tabletop says I'm nervous for Sunday. Sunday won't be as significant, I don't think, as Saturday is going to be. I think Sunday could have a small and severe weather threat for the east, but we'll have to see because there still is a little bit of uncertainty and whatnot. Let's see. Maryville, Tennessee, slightly nervous. Made sure I paid my radar mega subscription this month. Hey, man, you know what? That's good. I'm glad to see that you're staying weather aware and prepped. I'm sure more than likely you'll be totally okay. As for a lot of you guys, I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to be relatively fine with this. But we just need to make sure you all are being weather aware, and you guys are actively watching this event here. Okay. But you guys, like I said, just keep an eye on it, and we'll get through this thing together. I think that the thing that will really fire this up is the shear. That's very true. Yeah, since we have such strong lower and just really wind shear in general, winds throughout the atmosphere, lower and upper level, very, very strong winds in the atmosphere, we'll really get that storm organization and, potentially increase its significance for sure. Absolutely. I mean, even with low amounts of instability, which we kind of have for Saturday, I mean, Saturday's, it's not an absurd amount of unstable air. We're talking mostly between 500 and, 800 or so joules per kilogram, which it's enough, but it's not a whole lot. It's not an absurd amount. But the wind shear makes up for it. This is what we would more call a low cape, high shear environment, essentially. But yes, sometimes that wind shear can make up for the lack of instability. But even then, like I said, there is enough for sure to allow for severe weather to occur. And if there wasn't, then we wouldn't have a risk, but there is. So, yeah. Let's see here. Thanks, and I think of it trend west because it's been on the GFS. Let's see, wind threat for Hot Springs. Gotcha. We'll see. I mean, we'll definitely have to see how that plays out. I mean, right now, Hot Springs is in a marginal level 1 threat. Yes, of course, the risk can shift around a little bit, which we'll have to look out for. But as of now, you're in the marginal level 1 threat. So, while there is still a possibility for severe weather, it is a relatively low threat. But it is still an active severe weather threat, so we'll keep an eye out there for it. All right. Let's see here. Make sure you have a flashlight, blankets, first aid kit, extra batteries. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, make sure you guys before the event starts, make sure you guys know where to go in case of a tornado warning or something like that gets issued. And as Jordan did say, I mean, having flashlights, blankets, first aid kits, and all of your equipment, put that in your shelter. That way you have that with you. Which very good advice. Absolutely. Kim says, hello, Andrew. Thanks for covering the event, and thank you for whoever gave me the membership. Kim, hope you're doing good. Welcome. And I don't know who gave that. I think it was probably Jazz. Jazz might have gave it to you the other night. Let's see here. Is Tyler, Texas affected on Saturday? I don't think. Let's see. Where was Tyler? I know it's in the east somewhere, isn't it? Tyler, Texas, yes. Okay, yeah, so Tyler, Texas is actually in a level 2 threat for severe weather. So the answer to that, yes. You are going to be in the risk for severe weather on Saturday. And given SPC probabilities, which that gives you a 15% chance probability of seeing severe weather, being between tornadoes, damaging winds, and hail. As of right now, there is no breakdown for the exact tornadic probability, the exact wind and hail probability. That's not available to us yet. That only happens for day 1 and day 2. For example, today's day 1, tomorrow's day 2. Okay, so between today and tomorrow, we have the probability, but there's not really any severe weather going on between today and tomorrow. But like we mentioned, Saturday though, that's just not available yet. But between the collective, the probability of seeing severe weather, we do have a 15% chance of that, essentially. Let's see here. I'm sure you'll be relatively fine. You have such a way with words. Hey, you know what? You guys, like I said, we'll get through this. I promise. Yeah. Let's see here. See, thank you. I'm in New Hampshire rest of time. Yeah, New Hampshire's not going to get any of this mess, so you're good, Janice. You're good. Do I think there'll be a moderate risk, possibly high? I don't think it's quite to material of high risk. I mean, unless there's some significant changes in the models, such as, more instability, stronger moisture advection, higher dew point values, lower dew point depressions, then maybe, but I don't think we'll get that. I still have a lot of stuff to see before we'd even talk about high risk. I don't think it's going to get high risk, but maybe moderate. I think moderate would be a very good possibility. I would say that's a fair, a fair opinion to say about a moderate, but high is kind of pushing it right now. We'll see. We'll see, of course. Right now it's an enhanced. There is a lot of room for upgrades, but we'll just have to see how the models handle it and all that fun stuff, of course. Let's see here. The photograph is straight, but where's it at? Yeah, I mean, this is for hot springs, right? Like you said. We'll have to see. How that plays out here. Like we mentioned, for a lot of these other areas here, there is a slight veering pattern. So basically the winds are, slightly changing direction with altitude. That's going to contribute to some rotating thunderstorms. So like we mentioned, we have a really strong lower level jet here in place, where I circled talking like potentially 65 knots worth of lower level wind shear. And of course all that instability that overlaps it, not really the highest amount of instability, but it's enough, like I mentioned. Let's grab a sounding. Take a look at the sounding here. Let's just grab soundings are scary for people, especially who are new to weather. They look a little scary, don't they? But, they're once you understand them, they're pretty simple. What I am going to say, though, is that this right here, you kind of see that sickle shape hodograph. So that is indicating that we are seeing veering winds. So basically just showing that the winds are changing direction with altitude. And because of that, that could create the spin. Here's a vertical representation of the wind speeds and wind directions based off of wind barbs. So basically, for example, this is a height equivalent. This is 0 kilometers. This is 6 kilometers. So we're going up in altitude, 15 kilometers. On surface level, which would be all the way at the bottom here, you can see the winds are... let's go ahead and redo that. You can see that the winds here are moving relatively to the north, maybe slightly northeast. But then as you go up in altitude, the wind direction changes a little bit more. So you can see that there is a slight change in that wind direction, which will get that potential for rotating thunderstorms we call supercells. So we'll have to look out for that. Most unstable, or just looking at the instability values here. I mean, it's like I said, it's enough. It's not the most in the world, of course, but it's enough. Looking at our moisture and stuff, 66 degree dew points. That's mid 60 dews. That's pretty good. Especially our dew point depression is pretty low, which is basically just the difference between our temperature, our normal temperature, and our dew point. The closer they are together, the more saturated the air is, the more humidity, the more humid, more moisture is available. The further they are apart is problematic for storms. So the closer they are together is good. So moisture's great, for the storm here, moisture's great. And honestly, looking at a skew T plot like this, I'm not trying to confuse you guys too much, but given that there is, instability, a decent amount of instability in the mid-atmosphere, and that drop in humidity and whatnot, that could actually favor hail. So I think hail will actually be a concern from a sounding like this, honestly. Anyways, I'm not trying to confuse everybody. I'm not trying to confuse everybody with it. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to take in, but there's a lot of meteorology. There's a lot more than people think that there is. Okay, let's see here. Kansas Weather Watcher says moderate risk. Maybe. We'll have to see. I mean, we'll have to see how the models trend and stuff like that. It could go either way, to be honest with you. All right, let's see here. Silent, I got you, my friend. You are so you're actually in the enhanced risk. You got the big threat for Saturday. So Silent, make sure you are remaining weather aware. As yes, you definitely do have you have the greatest risk as of right now for severe weather. So definitely need you to be weather aware, okay? All right, let's see here. Just kidding. Thanks for your hard work, man. No problem. I know you're joking. But you're very welcome. No problem. Glad to help out, guys. Let's see here. Has there been any uptrends? A little bit, actually. I've noticed that, so the wind shear, from what I've seen, has not really changed much. The winds in the atmosphere hasn't really changed much. One of the things I have seen a little bit, though, is maybe a little more instability, maybe an uptrend and a little bit more unstable air or CAPE that we have, the convective available potential energy. Note that it's potential energy. It's not converted into kinetic energy until the storm happens. Anyways. But yeah, with that being said, instability, the fuel in the atmosphere, seems to have uptrended a little bit. Seems to have. We'll have to see if that's a continuation or if that does anything, but we'll keep an eye on it. Let's see. What about Shreveport, Louisiana? Shreveport's also in that level 3 threat for sure. Shreveport is going to be in the greatest threat for severe weather here come as of, for Saturday as we're looking at. So if you're in Shreveport, Bentley, I would keep an eye out there for it, my friend, for sure, as there could be some nasty severe weather in the area for sure. Right now it has an overall 30% chance probability of seeing severe weather. Also, look at this, 10% chance or higher probability for significant severe weather too, as we do have that hatch risk as well. But, the overall probability here, you guys can see this is a 30% chance in the red with the 10% chance of significant severe weather. So with that being said, we're going to have to watch out for not only a decent probability for severe weather, but also potential for very strong storms too. So be careful. Let's see here. Ryan says, I'm in Antarctica watching you. It's freezing. Just kidding. I'm in Kansas. Hey, man, you know what? It's been very cold out there. Dude, especially this morning. We were actually looking at that yesterday when we were doing our weather coverage on yesterday's severe weather event. Yeah, you guys have been getting some pretty cold air. Let's pull up thermos. Temperature anomalies. So look at this. So basically, the blue is representing colder than average temperatures, based off of data between 81 and 2010. You can see a lot of the country here is in blue, which is indicating that it's a lot colder than normal right now. That's going to change, though, in the south, of course, with this next storm system that's rolling through, as we're going to have a lot of that warm air advection, a lot of that instability and moisture building in and whatnot to the region. Meanwhile, while we do have the cooler air coming once again back down to, into the south here, or, down further to the south, there's going to be another round of it, unfortunately. There is. But here's the temperature anomalies kind of showing you that, yes, the temperatures will be warmer yet again for Saturday across, Saturday and Sunday across, the east and, of course, bringing down that cooler air behind it too, unfortunately. So there is another shot of cold air after that. So we'll have to see. Yeah. So we have this last storm brought that cooler air down, and it's just going to be a repeat and do the same thing again. So we're going to have to go through all that again, essentially. All right, let's see here. Sam says a tornado outbreak is unlikely. buddy, have you seen how big the risk is for one, and also the consideration of a 50 to 60 knot lower level jet with, like I mentioned, upwards of 500 to 800 joules per kilogram, which, is kind of lower end, of course. But wind shear does make up for that. Low dew point depressions, too. We're talking good moisture advection. I mean, I don't know, man. That's your opinion. You can think that, but I strongly disagree with you. Let's see here. Let's see here. The HRRR, that warm sector is huge. Yeah. Actually, let's take a quick little peek at the HRRR. Let's see what we got going on here. We're gonna see what we got. Yeah, I have not looked at the HRRR yet. Is it even in range yet? We have the 0 Zulu coming through. Yeah, we're just starting to come in range here. Looks like. Yeah, 18 Zulu just got to the beginning of it. Yeah, we'll by the time we reach tomorrow, of course, we're gonna have that well within range here. Dude, look at that moisture advection, though. You see all that? I mean, HRRR indicating maybe even upper 60s, lower 70-degree dew points across areas like Louisiana and whatnot. That's pretty hefty. And, of course, our lower-level jet here of good 50, 55, maybe 60 knots, according to some of the other models like the NAM and whatnot. You can see some of that getting close, getting real close. Regardless, very strong, very, very strong wind shear for sure. I don't know, man. It's in place for sure. All the ingredients are there. Let's see here. If Shreveport, you definitely want to hold on. If it's Shreveport, you will definitely get a tornadic storm. Your city's a magnet for them. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we don't know for sure if Shreveport will get a tornado or not. So don't worry, guys. If you live in Shreveport, it's more of a joke than anything. But yeah, I mean, it can seem to be like that sometimes. I mean, we'll have to see. Obviously, Shreveport is in for a decent risk of severe weather. So if you are out in Shreveport, definitely do need to be weather aware for sure. What's up, Isaac? Saying, how am I doing? I'm doing good, man. Hope you're doing good yourself. Welcome. What about Vicksburg, Mississippi? Let's see here. I can't even spell. Yeah, so Vicksburg's actually in one of the... matter of fact, actually, Vicksburg's like right in the center of this risk. So, Samuel, man, honestly, I really do want you to be weather aware. I want you to keep an eye out there for this event, okay? Let's see here. What about Meadville? Meadville, Mississippi. Let's see here. Meadville, Mississippi. Yeah, you folks are you're also in that heat. So like we mentioned, overall, we do have a 30% chance here for severe weather. So they also did include the let's see here. Okay, they also did include the 10% chance here for significant severe weather. Like I mentioned beforehand, as of right now. Hold on. As of right now, there essentially is, no breakdown from SPC regarding that, the exact probability breakdown between tornadoes, large hail and damaging winds and whatnot. So, we'll definitely have to keep an eye out there for that, there overall. But yes, your area, I do want you to be, actively watching that for sure, as you are in the heavier risk here. All right, we're gonna go ahead and grab some more soundings here. Actually, I do want to take a look at more of the models here. So here's NAM. So this is going to be set for once again. Unfortunately, there is that the timing with this event will push into the overnight hours as well, unfortunately. So that's something that we're going to have to look out there for as well. So this is pretty much for late evening of Sunday going into late evening of Saturday going into early Sunday here. There's a sounding over Louisiana here. Let's see what we got here. So there's that veering we were talking about in the wind shear profile, also indicated here on the photographs. You guys can see, that slight curvature there, indicating that the winds are changing directions with altitude. Like I mentioned, good amount of moisture supply here. Good moisture advection. I mean, upper 60 dew points. Like we mentioned, we looked at the HRRR and whatnot. We were seeing, once again, pretty good amount of moisture, upper 60, maybe lower 70 degree dew points and stuff like that. So for sure. Let's see here. Daddy Crab coming in with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Sam says wild dry air intrusion. There is a little bit of dry air in the mid levels. Yes, you can see the the gapping there in our mid levels. Honestly, that could indicate even a bit of a hail maker too. I think there could be some hail involved in this event here. Given that we do have fair amounts of instability in our mid atmosphere too. But yes, there is a bit of dry air for sure in the middle atmosphere. Absolutely. Let's see. Janice says storm chasers will be out. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. You know it, but storm chasing down here is actually pretty dangerous. I mean, storm chasing in general is dangerous, but in the south it's dangerous because there's a lot of trees and you can't see much. Well, not always. Yeah, I would advise against it personally. Let's see here. But Daddy Crab, once again, thank you, man, for the 2. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Tamara, is that how you say your name? Is there going to be a possibility for a tornado when West Tuscaloosa, or just Tuscaloosa, Alabama? Let's see here. So basically, let's see. You mean like the western side of Tuscaloosa? Yeah, so regardless, I mean, all of Alabama is actually in, the risk here for severe weather overall. So whenever it comes to it, I mean, if you're in Alabama, you need to be weather aware. Tuscaloosa is one of the areas that's actually in the heavier threat overall. So that's that. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Is there an elevated mix layer? Most of the folks on here are not going to know what an elevated mix layer is. I mean, are you talking about like instability wise? A mixed layer instability? Maybe that's what you're talking about. But anyways. Am I going to be on Saturday? Yeah, so we will be live Saturday. I think I'm probably going to cover a lot of the nighttime. I'm going to cover a lot of the night shift here for Saturday because I know a lot of people are going to be live, during it overall, during the main event. But anyways. So, we'll definitely be here to help you guys out. And like I mentioned, tomorrow, too, we are going to be live here for another update for you guys. So tomorrow, as we approach tomorrow, we're going to have a much better understanding, between the models, for one, as well as, once again, SPC updates, too. We'll have probability-based tornadic, activity, and so probability-based for tornadoes, winds, and hail, essentially. But we'll definitely have to keep an eye out there for that. Let's see here. Samuel, not trying to be that man or whatever, but it's kind of rude to talk about other people's streams on somebody else's stream. Just saying, but maybe you didn't know. It's okay. But anyways, but like I said, guys, I guess we'll go ahead and do a lot of zip codes now. If y'all have any, zip codes that you want me to take a look at, essentially, like I said, we'll take a look at, your all's risk and whatnot, just to, help keep you guys weather aware. That's the main thing on this channel. So if you guys don't know how this works, if y'all have a zip code you want me to take a look at, I'll let you know what level you're in. As of now, regarding the severe weather probability, I'll let you know what level you're in from the scale of 1 to 5, as well as the probability based on how, your probability of seeing severe weather as well. So, for example, once again, throw down a zip code. We'll take that. We'll let you guys know essentially what you can expect here. And like I mentioned here, for Saturday, the main risk area, like we mentioned here, is going to be across Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Alabama. So that's the greatest risk here regarding severe weather. As of right now here for Saturday, which has a overall 30% chance probability here for severe weather. Then of course we do have the the 15% chance here across the yellow, essentially, and then the 5% chance here across the green overall. So with that being said, I mean, yeah, we're definitely in for quite a day here on for quite a day on Saturday. So we'll definitely make sure to keep you guys posted and keep y'all updated with everything. But anyways, another thing I do want to look at real quick. Let's check up on that LA storm real quickly. Yeah, so whenever we started the stream here, there was actually a warning that got issued out there by LA. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. I was going to pull up my chat here. So out here by LA, we do still have that severe thunderstorm warning here in effect for 38 more minutes here. You can kind of see, looking at the radar here, you can see that line of strong winds that's essentially pushing through LA here. 70 mile per hour wind gusts here. Penny hail, and they still have a tornado possible tag here overall. So like I mentioned, we'll have to still keep an eye out there for that. What's up, Peachy? Hope you're doing good. Let's see. Do I have any suggestions for just starting? Hey, man, just honestly, don't give up. That's a good suggestion, or good advice, I should say. Just don't give up. It's good that you're doing that as well and wanting to help out people. Any suggestions? Obviously, make sure you know your stuff. I'm not saying you don't, of course, but just make sure you know what's going on and how you can efficiently and effectively update people for sure. But anyways, so yeah, like I said, 70 mile per hour wind gusts, tornado possible tag, and potential out there for penny size hail as well. What's up, Roadster Jim? Hope you're doing good. Saying worry about all the rain on the burn scars in LA area. Yeah, there is. So what's crazy, obviously, is they just they got that wildfire activity here not too long ago, right? So with that being said, now they're getting a whole bunch of rain. There's a really nasty flooding threat out there, and on top of that, we now have this severe thunderstorm warning essentially. Let's see here. Do I think that the linear storm mode Saturday will hinder a tornado threat a bit unless we are expecting prefrontals ahead of the line? So, obviously, yeah, if we do have prefrontals ahead of the main QLCS, the fancy word for that, or squall line, essentially, for the people who's not sure what QLCS, it's basically just a fancy word to say squall line or a long line of storms. Anyways, if we do get prefrontals, obviously those are, kind of the main problem. We don't really have enough, we really don't have enough information yet because, like I mentioned, HRRR is just starting to get to the point of the storms. We'll have to see, though. If there is prefrontals, yes, that would be more problematic for tornadoes. If it's linear, it would likely bring that down a bit, but you still got to remember that there can be tornadoes in those lines of storm as well. So regardless, yeah, tornadoes is going to be an issue, but if there is prefrontals, that could make it a little bit more worse, unfortunately. We'll just have to see, though. Still kind of waiting for the HRRR, So tomorrow we'll have a lot of those runs, giving us a lot more information on that. Let's see here. Do I think we'll see a 15% or higher chance for significant tornado Saturday? I don't know about 15. I think we'll. I mean, obviously, I'm not SPC, so I'm, not for. This is just my opinion. I think, based off of what we've been looking at here tonight, between the models, given a very strong lower level jet, enough instability to get the job done. I mean, we're talking, not quite 1,000 joules. I mean, maybe locally 1,000. We'll have to see. I mean, there could still be some uptrends between now and the event, but or downtrends. Just we'll have to see. I don't know about 15, but I think 10 sig would be where I'd stand right now. But of course, once again, I'm not SPC. That's I'm not part of the Storm Prediction Center. But I mean, yeah, given the fact that we do have that veering wind shear and very very strong winds in the atmosphere, strong wind shear, enough instability, great moisture advection, a good supply of moisture. I really do think that there could be potentially some significant tornadic activity for sure. I don't know about 15% though. We'll have to see. That would actually indicate a moderate. If it was a 15, it would indicate a moderate. So most likely damaging wind threatened Sunday, I think. I think it's going to be between both tornadoes and winds. Not more one or the other. I think they'll both be of equal concern, both tornadoes and damaging winds, to be honest. If I'm not mistaken, it'll be updated to day 2 at 1 a.m. Yes, tomorrow being the 14th, it will turn to day 2, in which at that point we will have the breakdown, for tornadoes, damaging winds, and hail. Yeah. So, by the time we're at tomorrow's live stream, though, tomorrow what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to do not 1 but 2 live streams. I need to do maybe like an early afternoon or an update whenever I get up because my sleep schedule's been bad. I mean, I stayed up till like 4 in the morning yesterday covering these storms here. I was up pretty late. So it depends on when I get up. Whenever I get up, I will go live, and then of course maybe later in that evening I'll go live again, and then when it comes to the day of storms, which will be Saturday, we'll go live early to give you guys a bit of a heads up before the event really starts, and then I'll cover night shift Saturday. I'm not going to cover the main part of the event, but I will cover the later part. Obviously, everybody's going to be live here on Saturday. All the weather streamers, they're going to be live on Saturday covering the main event. So there is a lot of coverage out there, which is good. But then, of course, whenever people end the streams, they do get a bit tired, and we're going to need somebody to take over night shift, in which I'm going to be here for that. We'll cover a lot of the night shift here Saturday, or really Sunday morning mostly. But yeah, to answer your question, I mean, for day 2, whenever SPC updates tomorrow, it will. Yeah. It's going to be a long day Saturday. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned, it covers a large area too. I mean, severe weather is going to be possible. As far west as eastern Texas, as far east as, western South Carolina. As far north as like northern Kentucky, you can see it's that covers a pretty good amount of area, and even the size of the slight risk is pretty big. Even the size of the enhanced risk is really big. Covering a big chunk of Mississippi, western Alabama, out here towards Louisiana and Arkansas and whatnot. Tabletop says, I hope that Sunday underperforms. I hope Saturday underperforms. I hope this is a bust, of course. But, of course, there's no way to know that until the day of. You think a 10% chance should stay for tornadoes? That's kind of where I'm thinking, too, right now. Obviously, like I mentioned before, I'm not SPC, but, given the credentials and, or just the environment from what the models are suggesting here, yeah, I think a 10 sig would be at least needed for tornadic activity across the enhanced risk area. And honestly, probably Probably even a 30% risk for winds too. Let's grab some more soundings here. I want to look more at the damaging wind threat. Let's just grab one for late Saturday across Mississippi here, central Mississippi. Let's just see kind of what model is this? RAP. Okay, this is RAP model. Okay. We do have strong wind shear, of course, like I mentioned. D Cape values are pretty low, honestly. Main threat in this sounding would be the potential for tornadic activity. Let's grab another one here in like south central Louisiana here from RAP. We'll look at something from NAM too. It's great to look at not just one model but multiple model runs. Okay, D-Cape's a little higher on that one. But yeah, I mean you can see that there's still that veering wind shear pattern there. Curvature to a hodograph. I mean, yeah, it looks like a good setup. It does. Let's look at NAM here. See how NAM compares. I'm going to grab another sounding here for pretty much roughly the same area, south central Louisiana. Curvature on the hodographs. D-Cape around 600 or so. Yeah, honestly, I want to. Okay, so. Just as a quick view from what I've been looking at here, I think we're probably going to be in a 30 non-sig wind threat. Once again, I'm not SPC. This is just my opinion on what I think could be. Maybe a 30 non-sig threat for damaging winds across the enhanced risk area. I think could be possible. I think a 10 sig tornado risk there. I'm not too sure about hail. Honestly, that's kind of my least concerns right now from this event is hail, but I think there could be some, of course, some large hail involved, but we'll have to see. So this is for the this is for the morning here of Sunday. Looks like, according to NAM, some of the instability does trail into like southern Alabama here. Still really good curvature on our hodographs there, indicating the winds are changing directions with altitude, can get us a spinning atmosphere or spinning storm potential, essentially. Yeah. So we'll have to see. I do think that the severe threat could continue into Sunday too. Not as significant, of course. Not as strong. Obviously, Saturday is going to be the main day. But yeah, honestly, I think Sunday there might be a lower end threat. We'll have to see. We shall have to see. But anyways, folks, well, if you guys have any questions here, feel free to let us know. I'll be more than happy to help you guys. Let's see here. I think it's unrealistic for a 15. Yeah, as of now, I do agree with that. There could be more improvements, made to this event here to before it becomes that concern. I think. You think a hatch is almost unrealistic? I think it'll be within region of a hatch risk for tornadoes. I do personally. Given how much wind shear we do have, instability. Remember, it could still trend higher before the event does get there. Something I've noticed is that the closer you get to the event, in some cases the instability does get higher the closer you do get to the event. We'll see. We'll have to see. Let's see here. Fun fact: you were inspiration to start my weather channel. Oh, that's awesome, man. I appreciate that. WWT says, "How's my day?" It's going okay, I guess. Hopefully your day's going good as well. Frankie says, "Watch from Live Oak, Florida." Good to have you here, man. Another man from Florida. See here. Tabletop says available forecast sounding suggests ample mid/upper level. Tabletop, did you get that from SPC? That looks like text directly from the Storm Prediction Center. Okay, never mind. He just wrote straight from SPC. Okay. See, convection given strong wind fields. Yeah, like I mentioned, shear is not a problem in the storm. This storm system here. Instability, like I mentioned, is on the lower side, but it's enough. It is enough. Do I think that there'll be a day of possibility of a bust? Honestly, I don't know. It depends on the day of what the ingredients actually are in place for one, but also if there's a lot of cloud cover too, in the warm sector, that could really affect performance. I don't know, honestly, but given everything else from what it looks like, I mean, it's a setup. It's a setup. It's a good setup. Let's see here. All right, see you later, Samuel. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. But if there really is no way of telling if it's going to be a bust or not right now. Of course, I mean, from what I see though, is that every ingredient's in place. We got that enough instability essentially. Once again, we do have really strong wind shear, both lower and mid levels. Great moisture advection, low dew point depressions. Like I mentioned, the differential between the dry bulb temp, or basically just the ambient outside temperature, and our dew points is minimal, meaning that there is good amounts of moisture, good amounts of water vapor included into the environment. So that'll be in place. Chris says hello from windy Maryland. Seeing gusts between 30 and 40 miles an hour with the wind advisory in effect. Perfect timing before big rainstorm on Saturday. Hope you're doing good, Chris. Glad to have you here. Let's see here. Thrifty says, please look into central western West Virginia area for the weekend. The local meteorologists are calling for a quote-unquote prehistoric flooding. Prehistoric flooding? You said for what, the weekend? Let me first of all, here's what we're going to do. Let me pull up hydrological outlooks. You said for the weekend, right? So that would be... Oh, shoot. I accidentally closed the program. Good job. Well, let's relaunch that real quick. What day is Saturday? What, the 15th? Yeah, 15th and 16th. Okay. So, let's pull up our hydrological outlooks here. That's not hydrological outlooks. Here we go. Okay, so that would be for days 3 and 4, Saturday and Sunday. So day 3, whoa. How did I not catch this? How did I not catch this? I mean, it makes sense. All that moisture that's coming up. Thrifty, you're on to something. I'm glad you actually mentioned that. I don't know why I didn't see this. Oh, that's a massive moderate, dude. Day 4, a little marginal. Gee. See, because I looked at this yesterday, too, and I didn't really see much, right? Thank you for mentioning that, Thrifty, for real. Well, yeah, we have a massive flooding threat here for also on Saturday. I mean, look at this. A huge moderate risk here for flooding from northern Mississippi all the way into western West Virginia. Let's look at rain totals. I mean, obviously... Yeah, we're going to break down the models here within the rain. Thank you once again, Thrifty, for mentioning that, because honestly, I did not expect it to be full-on moderate there. Yeah, it does look very concerning, of course. I mean, that's a massive moderate, too, for flooding. All right, let's start with GFS here. So this is QPF, just total precipitation. Whoa, okay. First of all, I want to go ahead and say a little bit of a disclaimer here. This is one model. This is one model run. You should not take what you see here, directly, and, just go off of this, essentially, directly. But, across that moderate risk area here, there, according to GFS, there could be several inches worth of rainfall. In this kind of reddish color, it's a good 2 or so inches out there. Could be a streak, according to GFS here, of 4, maybe 5 or so inches across portions of like Kentucky and Tennessee. Let's look at Euro. Like I mentioned, in this case, it's really good to compare. Okay, so it does look like there's a streak here too of a good 4, maybe 5 inches that cuts through portions of Tennessee and Kentucky. Oh. Let me zoom down a little bit for you guys. That's a lot of rain, dude. That is a lot of rain. I mean, the thing is, too, is that, a lot of these areas here from yesterday got impacted. I know yesterday's flooding threat was mostly for some of, like, these areas here. I know, like, northern Georgia got a lot of rain, in Alabama. This is a little bit more to the north, but Still, dude. Yeah, I mean, it seems like there is a little bit of common ground. We're going to hop back to the GFS real quick. It does seem like there is a little bit of common ground between both the Euro and the GFS, with a streak somewhere in Tennessee and Kentucky getting up a good, maybe 3 to 5 inches of rain. Let's try GDPS. This is the Canadian model, by the way. Yeah, I mean, same thing here. You guys can see. According to GDPS here, a good maybe 3, upwards of 4 or so inches or so, maybe 5 locally could still be possible. Yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot. Let's try Icon here. Yep, Icon suggesting relatively the same thing here. That streak through Kentucky and Tennessee could be quite nasty. 3 to 5 or so inches out there of rainfall. West Virginia, getting a good maybe anywhere from 1 to 3 inches or so. Just depends on the models you look at and where at in West Virginia. But yeah, that's a problem. That's a big issue. So yeah, not only are we going to be dealing with all that nasty severe weather, but we got a massive flooding risk here too. This is just wow, dude. We're gonna have to keep you guys in the loop here for sure. Saturday's gonna be a nasty day, man. Nasty day. So a lot of this part of the country, you all got some impacts here. That's a good chunk of the states too, man. So yeah, you guys definitely be careful out there. For tomorrow's outlook, I would say for the tornado risk, 10% SIG at the highest. What for Saturday's risk? So tomorrow's take on Saturday's risk, I guess you're trying to say, maybe. But yeah, no, we'll have to see. Don't forget about the 6 inches of rain supposed to hit burn spots in California this weekend. Yeah, no, they're actually already dealing with that flooding threat right now. We have a moderate today actually in effect for LA. For flooding. There's already all kinds of flash flood warnings out there. Tomorrow, there's no flooding risk here across California. Day 3, Saturday, there's not. Sunday, there's not. Yeah, a lot of that flooding is today, actually. A lot of that flooding is today. Do I think that North Carolina is going to get hit by the rain on Saturday? Portions of western North Carolina is in the risk area here. The more west you go, especially those upper elevations of western North Carolina, yeah, we do have a fair amount of or a fair threat regarding that. So for sure. What about next Tuesday's snowstorm? Let's see. Actually, is there a storm going on next Tuesday? Well, obviously it's a little too early to tell for accumulations and whatnot, but I will take a look and see what day is Tuesday. That the 18th, right? Tuesday's the 18th. Okay, I see what you're talking about. So obviously it's a little too early to be for sure. First of all, on accumulations and stuff like that. Is it consistent in the models? Okay, so it does seem to be maybe a little consistent, yeah, in the models. Okay. It seems like the models are still a little iffy on it right now, though. Euro suggested too. Yeah, there's just a little too early to tell on the impacts here for that storm. I mean, I will say, though, both Euro and GFS suggest the possibility maybe of some winter weather included with that storm system. But we'll have to see. It's a little too early to obviously know. Let's see here. Proxy says, how close am I to the moderate risk? He said Damascus, Virginia. Gotcha. You're not too far. You're in a slight. You are about approximately 5 miles away. It's not that far. Still a decent flooding threat for you, my friend. I mean, yeah, you're right next to it. You were right next to it. Yeah, that's a big moderate, dude. To be honest, I would not be surprised if the Weather Prediction Center probably, even considers a high risk for some of the areas once like the models kind of tune in where that streak of maybe 3 to 5 inches or more could be. I wouldn't be surprised if they added a higher risk or added a high risk for flooding, not severe weather, for flooding. Wouldn't be surprised. But anyways, guys, we're probably gonna head off here soon. Actually, we covered a lot longer of a live stream today, an hour and 15 minutes or so, which I'm more than happy to be here for you guys. But we're gonna head off here though. If you guys have any final questions though before I roll off, feel free to throw it down in the chat. Once again, I appreciate y'all for being here. Once again, thank you, Daddy Crab. I appreciate the support. Also, thank you, Tabletop, for the donation as well. I really appreciate you guys for all of your support and whatnot. So, thank you to people. See, Jake says they did mention the high risk in the WPC discussion. Did they? Did they? Hold up. There's a lot of text here. Hold up. Oh, here we go. Loaded at the bottom. High risk may be needed for portion of the area and subsequent. Yeah, so would not be surprised. Would not be surprised. Is that a moderate for Saturday? Van, so this is the outlook for flooding, not for the severe weather. As of now, there's a moderate for flooding, but for severe weather, it's an enhanced as of now. We'll have to see for any upgrades or whatnot. Have I checked the new HRRR? I have, yes. It was still rendering, though, when I did look at it, which we'll pull up real quickly. Oh, this is NAM. Look at that squall there. Oh, wow. Yeah, so I did not look at the latest. This is as far as it goes. Look at that squall. So one of the things we're going to have to look out for in future in future runs like tomorrow and whatnot, we'll have to see if there's going to be any like prefrontal storms. Those could be really problematic if they did occur, which let's hope not. Let's hope it's just the QLCS. Hopefully there's a cap in effect ahead of the cold front, which will help prevent prefrontal storms or a lot of cloud cover. Hopefully, that'll be nice. We'll have to see though. Tamira says, please come back tomorrow to update us. I will for sure, of course. Like I mentioned, tomorrow in the updates, what we're gonna do tomorrow, guys, is I'm gonna wake up, hopefully. Obviously, I wish that's good, but anyways, so for tomorrow's update, we are going to do a live stream whenever I get up, and of course, we'll do another one tomorrow evening as well to help you guys out with that. See here, I'm kind of worried about my state in Alabama. Yeah, so Alabama's definitely going to be in for quite an active. See that? Oh my gosh, Roadster Jim, dude, coming in with a $20 super chat. Roadster, man, thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate that. Holy cow, dude. Thank you so much, Roadster. That is very, very sweet of you. I appreciate that. Really, really thank you. I really appreciate that, Roadster. Thank you for helping us out and help keeping us running. Thank you, guys. Please give Roadster a big shout out. Thank you for the 20, man. I appreciate that. That's awesome, dude. Thank you so much, man. Greatly appreciate it, my friend. Thank you. Let's see here. Yeah, but Tamira, if that's how you say your name, sorry if I'm saying that wrong. But yeah, Alabama, we definitely do need to be actively weather aware. Let's go ahead and turn off the flooding outlook, and we'll pull back up the the Storm Prediction Center here for Saturday. So, yeah, I mean, no matter where you're at in Alabama, there is a form of severe weather threat. Most of Alabama is in that level 2 here in the yellow. And, of course, like western Alabama, we do have that level 3 enhanced risk out there. So we'll definitely keep an eye out there for it, you guys. We'll keep you all in the loop. Obviously, don't worry about that. We'll keep you guys posted. Tomorrow, whenever I do get up, we are going to do an update, like I said. And then tomorrow evening, we're going to do another update after that. So we'll keep you guys posted with everything. Once again, Jim, thank you so much, dude. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the 20. Really appreciate it, dude. Big shout out goes to you. Let's see here. Roadster says, Portland getting the snow tonight. Wait, Portland, is that Oregon? Let's see here. Let me go ahead and pull up Portland, Oregon. Oh, yes. Roadster, are you out here in Portland? You got a winter storm warning in effect here. Let's see what you got. Total snow accumulations between 2 and 4 inches. Winds gusting as high as 50, though. As high as 50. That's pretty windy. For sure. Before I get off, can I check on Bristol? Yeah, I got you, man. Let's see, Bristol, Tennessee. Okay, so severe weather-wise, we do not have any, we're not expecting severe weather as of now for your area on Saturday, so you're good. You don't got to worry about that. Flooding, though. Wow, look at that. You're right on the edge of the moderate. So, yeah, flooding is going to be a concern for your area. You are right on the edge of the moderate. Actually, I think you're in the moderate. I think Bristol is. Yeah, most of Bristol. That's literally straight through Bristol. Yeah, so the area by Bristol is in the moderate, so yeah, definitely be watching out for flooding, as several inches of rain is going to be quite likely for a lot of those regions out there. So your main problem on Saturday is going to be rain, not necessarily severe weather for your area, but rainfall is going to be the main problem. Flooding potential. Roadster says Seattle, Washington. You know what, Roadster? Once again, dude, thank you for your support, and obviously since you helped us out, I'm going to help you out too. I'm going to let you all know, or let you know what you can expect out there, Roadster. So it looks like, yeah, since Seattle's lower elevations, I think it might be a little too warm for, heavy impacts regarding, the weather out here. So let's actually, let me go pull up the radar here. Do we even... See, closest radar is Portland. It looks like a lot of precipitation down there. Honestly, yeah, Seattle, we do not have any active warnings per se. Let's look at the hydrological outlook for you. Let's see here. So nothing today, nothing tomorrow. Saturday, you're looking good. Yeah, honestly, Roadster, I don't see any concerns for, or no advisories, nothing like that for your area here either. Let's turn to the Pacific Northwest. Where is the... there we go, northwest view. Okay, so we do have, a lot of that precipitation rolling through. Actually, we have another storm system coming up, Roadster, for the 16th. It looks like 15th going into 16th. 15th and 16th there. Let's look at Euro. Does that agree on that too? Yeah. I mean, it's not that far out, so they're pretty in sync. Yeah, so keep an eye out there for it, Roadster. Between the 15th and 16th, there might actually be another round of precipitation out there. We're actually getting a dusting of snow right now. Oh, nice. Nice. Enjoy it. Yeah, but I don't think anything's going to get any we're not going to get any significant impacts out there by Seattle, so you're good. Yeah, it's mostly those upper elevations that's going to have most of the problems. Let's see here. David says, how is Austin, Arkansas looking? Let's take a look. Let's take a look and see what we got. Let's see here. Okay, so regarding the severe weather threat, you, my friend, have a level 1 threat for severe weather, which is, it's a low-end severe weather threat. It's still a risk here for severe weather, though. So, you definitely do want to be weather aware out here. So keep an eye out there for that. Now, flooding. We do have a slight risk here. So a level 2 threat for flooding. So, we're going to have to look out for a lot of precipitation and whatnot, across the region here for Saturday. So if you're in a flood prone area, low lying spot, just prepare for flooding potential, across those regions there. Yeah, no problem, Roadster. Once again, thank you, dude. I really appreciate you. Greatly appreciated. Let's see. Have I seen the cyclone Zelia? Is that how you say it? Zelia, I'm not sure, about to hit West Australia. I have not. Let me see. Australia. Where is it? Oh, there it is right there. No, I have not. I have not been paying attention to it. Looks like its eye wall is not so organized right now. Look at moisture. Let's see, water vapor. Looks like it's got some good water vapor to it and a good moisture supply. That's something I did not expect to do today, though, is look at tropics. Yeah, it's their season right now. Let's see here. Chris says, I appreciate the stream, man. Hope everyone has a great Valentine's Day. If it's storming in your area, please stay safe. Absolutely. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate you joining. I hope that Waste Management will pick up tomorrow. Oh, I'm talking about Sonya. Okay, never mind. I was like, what are you talking about? It's a Cat 4 or 5, is it? It looked pretty strong. But all right, everybody. Well, I better roll off here. Actually, we're pushing towards an hour and a half here. So we are about a half hour over our normal update and stuff like that. But like I said, it's good just to keep you guys weather aware and whatnot. So I'm happy I was able to be here a little longer today for you guys. So like I mentioned, tomorrow's plan, I'm going to get up, I'm going to stream, and then of course late tomorrow night we're going to do another stream. So I'm planning 2 streams tomorrow. If not, we'll definitely do at least 1 stream tomorrow. And then I plan on Saturday morning at some point, Saturday afternoon maybe early, to do another live stream to keep you guys updated, for Saturday. So possibly 2 streams tomorrow. If not 2, definitely 1. And then Saturday morning or Saturday early afternoon, we'll go live for an update. And then we'll do evening or night coverage for Sunday. Saturday going into early Sunday. So I'm not going to cover the main part as, there's going to be hundreds of other people streaming that. However, nighttime, people go to bed usually, and it's obviously still going to be needed for coverage. So we're going to go live the night portion of the event here on Saturday, going into early Sunday. Okay. Anyways, KJax says thanks for the updates. No problem. Very, very welcome. Let's see here. Roadster says thank you, Andrew. Stay safe, chat. You're very, very welcome, Jim. Thank you once again, man, for your support. I appreciate you, dude. Very, very much. Brady says I hope no more Arctic air. I'm supposed to be into 30s the rest of the month. Unfortunately, this storm system is going to be bringing down a little bit more cooler air. So, I hate to burst your bubble, but for some regions, anyways, in the central U.S., we'll be getting that cooler air and whatnot. But all right, everybody. Well, thank you all for joining. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your night. Be careful out there. Stay safe, and like I mentioned, we'll keep you guys updated with everything, and we'll make sure that you guys are staying weather aware. But anyways, folks, stream's going to head off here in approximately 2 minutes, so go ahead and say goodbye to your friends, your family, anybody you're hanging out with here in the chat. Once again, I appreciate y'all very, very much. Thank you all so much for your support. Greatly appreciated. Once again, a big thank you goes to Roadster Jim for the $20 super chat. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so, so much. Daddy Crab as well. Thank you so much, dude. And of course, Tabletop as well. Thank you guys. So Tabletop, Daddy Crab, as well as Roadster Jim. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all. But all right, everybody, thanks for joining. You guys take care. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Once again, we'll catch you guys tomorrow for another update, and we'll see y'all then. All right, everybody, have a great night. Catch you guys tomorrow. Peace out.